Okay, guys, as you know, my name is Brittany Westmoreland, and I just wanted to kind of give you guys some background and fill you in on some of the same sex traditions that are probably not as well known or as popular as your traditional wedding. So I just wanted to go over some of those. Um, so you get engaged and you have this long list of things to do. So one of the items on the list is going to be your gift registry. So a lot of same-sex couples, for their gift registry, they may do your regular registry where they go to the store to get their pots and their pans, or whatever may be necessary. They may have the honeymoon voucher where people donate money towards their honeymoon, and a lot of same-sex couples don't really do the whole donate towards the honeymoon thing. They're more towards donate to equal rights. So the Human Rights Campaign is a big one, a big organization that they ask you to donate to. So the bride and the bride, or the groom and the groom, may do a donation, and they may ask for your support and give a little donation as well. So that's kind of a neat thing that they do for gift registry. Either before the wedding, if you have like the bridal shower and stuff like that, or at the actual wedding, if you wanted to do a donation with the bride and the groom, or not the bride, the bride and the bride and the groom and the groom. So it's kind of cool. The other thing is picking the vendors. So food's a big deal. So you definitely want to make sure that you choose a vendor that's good for you. Whenever it comes to same-sex marriage, there's a lot that has to go into picking a vendor, because you need to do a little background research, and you need to be aware of if the vendor is okay with doing a same-sex marriage, or same-sex wedding, because apparently people can be spiteful, they can be hateful, they can be shady, and they can sign up to do your job and maybe not show up, or maybe come and do a horrible job. So you just want to do your background information and make sure that you know that they will come to the event and they will support you, because ultimately that's what you want. So a little bit more goes into picking a vendor than just your normal taste testing. There's also Purple Unions, which is a company that helps couples find vendors that are supportive of same-sex marriages. So it's kind of cool that there's someone out there that will assist you in your search, so you're not alone. Let's see, picking a venue. So 92% of same-sex marriages are not done in a place of worship. So at your normal church, it's usually not done there. A lot of couples do things in the park, or they may do something at a friend's house, like a backyard barbecue, just different things like that. Something small, something homey. Definitely not your typical wedding where we're going to go to a church and sit down and pray. Anyways, so in picking the rings, that seems like a normal thing. A lot of couples, I think that it is still kind of the same thing. You still pick the band, you pick out the diamond, the normal. But the gay community has a long established tradition of wearing their band for commitment on the right hand. So before marriage, especially when gay marriage wasn't legal yet, the couples would wear their, let's call them commitment rings, on their right hand instead of the left. Now that same ring, when they become married, will be used, typically it's used, to place on the left hand. So it's kind of something different. You're in a male-female relationship, you may get a promise ring. You're not going to take the promise ring off of the right hand, put it on the left, and get married. That's not typically how that works. So it's something different. There's also companies that make wedding bands just for gays, for the gay community. There is one called Engagement Rings. They also do matching bands. So it's in G-A-Y, engagement. So a little play on words there. And then there's also a specialized jeweler called Proposition Love. They incorporate a diamond-studded triangle design for their line of gay pride rings. So it's kind of cool that they have that as an option. Let's see. Now, we are going to walk down the aisle. So before the wedding, they always talk about, bad luck to see the bride beforehand. So here we have our groom and our groom. Well, whenever it's a groom-groom wedding, typically they'll help each other get ready. It's not the, I'll see you at the altar. We can't see each other beforehand. It's bad luck. So they typically help each other out. And then in the bride-bride situation, it's kind of rare that they help each other out, but the way that they come to the altar is definitely different. So the groom, they'll walk hand in hand down the aisle most of the time. And then with your bride, they may do the same, walk hand in hand down the aisle, or they may choose to come from different sides and meet at the altar. So that's kind of a cool concept. But typically you're not going to have the father walk the bride down the aisle in this situation, which is definitely a different tradition for a same-sex marriage. And let's see, for attire, of course we all want to know what we're wearing, right? So more than half of the lesbian community, they will do the traditional for them, I guess. A bride will wear a dress and a bride will wear a pantsuit. So that's over half. That's a good percent. And then you have 40%, which will wear a dress and a dress. And then the gray area in between is where the two ladies will both choose to wear pantsuits, which is an interesting concept, but I understand that it happens. But it's different. So they obviously have their own traditions as far as what to wear when walking down the aisle. And then also with who they choose to be, the groomsmen or the bridesmaids. So typically you have bridesmaids on the bride's side. Well, if you have two brides, you're going to have a mix, unless you have all girls. But typically there's a mix. Whether you have brothers, you have best friends who may also be gay, but that's not the point. So you just have kind of a more variety on each side. Where in your traditional wedding you have, the groom and all his groomsmen, you have the bride and all her bridesmaids. So it's pretty straightforward in that sense, but when it comes to same-sex marriages, I feel like the field is more open, there's more options, and there's less judgment. Let's see, and the officiant. So the U.S. Presbyterian Church, Unitarian, the Quaker, Reformed Catholic Church, Metropolitan Community Church, and the ethical culture faiths, along with 3 branches of Judaism, can bless same-sex marriages. Baptist churches that are no longer members of the Southern Baptist Convention may also host same-sex marriages. Individual pastors can decide if they want to officiate same-sex marriages. So that's pretty straightforward, but a lot of the times, if you have a pastor that's willing to do it, that's cool, but a lot of people will choose family members or, best friends or mutual friends to be the officiant and do the I do's and the vows and everything with you, which is more sacred. It's a little bit more personal than just having your community pastor do your vows with you. And let's see, this last but not least, let's go with last name. So most couples will hyphenate their names. So they're trying to show each other, I guess, that level of commitment, and at the same time keeping their name. It's not as common with your traditional weddings. I know a lot of Hispanic families do both last names, but I don't feel that it's always as common. I think that that's more of a debatable issue as far as that goes. But overall, I think that there are some interesting points. And one thing that I did leave out, the bride does not always wear white. Sometimes she may wear green because green is a popular color in the gay community, because the gay community is very active in global warming and nature, and green is a very important color to them because in the flag, the green represents nature. So that's a little fun fact to throw in at the end. But other than that, thank you for listening.